That's what beatboxing sounds like. What's up, everybody? Welcome to this week's episode of Split Screen Gaming Podcast. I didn't look up this shit. Hold on. We're three lifelong friends, correspond about video games from the comfort of their homes. I'm Chad Michaelinis.
And I can't remember my name, but for the sake of argument, it's Holden DePardo.
For the sake of argument?
Yep.
You remembered it exactly.
I'm just going with whatever came to my mind first. So
and joining us this week is special guest Mario Luigi. No, Mario is his name.
Mario is his name?
Yeah, because in the movie, Luigi is Luigi Mario, and they are the Mario brothers.
Really? Are you serious?
Yeah, you've never seen the movie, right?
Oh,
I'm such a Nintendo fanboy.
I do not want to see that movie.
You should see it.
I have no interest in seeing
yeah,
that movie.
it's Mario and Luigi Mario.
I'm kind of far from the microphone. Is this still audible? Can you hear me?
I mean, you could get the microphone closer to you like an adult.
Am I an adult now?
I mean, you're a little bit more adult. I mean, scoot it.
I don't want to sit back.
I mean, you can sit back, but also scoot it closer to you, and then you can do that. That's how adults solve problems, Holden.
It doesn't move. This is as close as it's going to get.
Oh, my God.
Oh, man, this is just going to have to work like this.
Cheese and rice. Move the... How about... Here, you can still sit back. If you sit by the corner of the couch, Holden.
And then put it over here.
Move the... Yes.
I see where you're going with this, Chad.
There you go.
This is Who's
a good boy?
I'm the good boy.
Who's a good boy?
That's me.
That's me.
Do I have
Dear Ashley.
Do I have to move over now?
Remember Dear Ashley? No, you didn't watch Nickelodeon as a kid. On all that.
I did get.
Did you watch all that?
I did get your Mike Super Short Show reference though.
Yeah, that's Disney Channel.
That was good. I don't get those references usually.
Dear Ashley was Amanda Bynes on all that.
Oh, I know Amanda Bynes. And
she did this like what's the bitch where you write in and she says, your problems are stupid.
Like character.
Ask Abby. Dear Abby. That's it. But this was
I don't remember
Ashley.
that one.
The only one I remember specifically is Dear Ashley. That's me. Dear Ashley, I like peanut butter and jelly sandwiches. But when my mom makes them for school, she always puts the peanut butter on the bottom and the jelly on the top. But I like it when the jelly's on the bottom and the peanut butter's on the top.
These are deep problems.
What do I do? And she goes, that's an interesting problem. How about you turn the flippin' sandwich flippin' over? Yeah. All that, you guys.
Great programming.
This is a Nickelodeon podcast. Split screen Nickelodeon podcast. Welcome. This is like the first real week in weeks.
It has been because we had a
predictions.
E3. Yep.
We had an E3 goddamn blowout. Like some voluminous hair. That's what girls get, right? Blowouts for voluminous hair.
I don't know what you're talking about.
I think I know how girls work.
No, you don't. It's okay because I don't either. It's okay. You're good company.
And then we did like a wrap-up episode.
Yep.
Now we're doing this one in the nude, so it's still kind of easy.
We did a wrap-up episode. We also did a wrap-up per conference as well.
Yeah, I mentioned that during the blowout.
No, you didn't. You didn't mention that.
Holden, do you even know what blowout means?
I'm so confused right now. I have no idea what's happening.
Welcome back, guys. We've missed you. It's been a week.
It's been a week. The normal amount of time.
1 week. Bare Naked Ladies comes back to the nude. See? Mm-hmm. Everything is nude.
All right, Chad. It's been a week. What have you been playing since
What have I been playing? What have Shut Up been playing? I've been playing
Yeah, no, what have you been playing? I want to know what you've been playing, not what Shut Up's been playing.
Two things. I've been playing two things. I've been playing Rise of the Tomb Raider some more. I'm deep into that game now, and I am liking it a lot. The 4K visuals, you asked me about it when you came over. You're like, so the PS4 Pro, how is it working for you?
Because you don't have a 4K TV, for those who haven't
That's right,
listened.
yeah, I have a 1080p TV, but rendering everything in 4K visuals and then downscaling it, it's like, it makes a difference.
I still haven't seen this yet. I also still haven't seen VR on the PS4 Pro yet.
No, you haven't.
That's what I really want to see.
You've only seen like 30 minutes of VR total in your whole life anyway, so
that's not true.
It doesn't even matter. You don't even have any.
It's been at least like 5 minutes more than that.
You're 5 minutes more. So yes,
you say so.
I'm enjoying it. I feel like there's a lot to do. It's like if Assassin's Creed met Uncharted.
Okay.
Like
is it
you
open
could
world?
go around. There are open world parts of it.
Okay.
Kinda. Not really. I mean, it's pretty linear, but then you get to these big open areas, and you're like, cool. You could spend 15 hours in this big open area collecting every little collectible, or going and finding every little cave or optional tomb and things like that. Or you could spend like 5 minutes doing a side quest and move on. So it's kind of open world in that aspect, and then you could always go back to any of those places by sitting in a campfire.
There's a term for this. It's like wide forward or something like that. Like it's a wide experience, but you're always kind of moving forward throughout it. That's
a really nice term you just made up.
It's not,
makes no sense.
No. There's someone who is the guy who made God of War, or one of the guys making God of War during
Jaffe?
E3 mentioned it. No, it wasn't Jaffe. It was the newest God of War, and they're saying how it's not a linear game. It's like a wide linear experience because you can still kind of go far to the left if you want to. You still have to go forward, but you might see something very different if you go that direction than if you went far to the right, but still forward.
Speaking of the new God of War, you know something I learned recently that I find absolutely fascinating?
What is that, Chad?
The entire new God of War game is all going to be one shot.
Yeah. Yep.
That's freaking awesome. No cuts.
I thought we talked about this last week.
No, we didn't. No, you lied to yourself.
I've known about this at least. It is very cool.
Well, shut your whore mouth.
He based it off of a John Woo action sequence.
A Jawoo?
A John Woo.
A Jawoo?
A Jawoo. John Woo.
So yes, I've been playing Tomb Raider. Mm-hmm. Liking it a lot. And then guess what else came out this week?
You've been playing ARMS.
No, I have not been playing ARMS, you silly Billy Gumdrop. I have been playing Pokemon Go.
Oh, is new stuff in that?
This week, they totally revamped all the gyms. And they have raids now. So, like, there are big, strong Pokemon at gyms all over the place, and you can do one a day, and you can have up to 20 people fighting this one Pokemon, and then at the end of it, you get the opportunity to catch that Pokemon. And a lot of times they're rare ones, and this is how they're going to roll out the legendaries and things like that.
Oh, that makes sense.
So I have been, like... And the way the whole gym system works has been revamped to make it...
fun?
A little bit more fun, yeah. So
that was something that was lacking before.
I have had several days this week where I've been like... You know what, I'm just going to walk down to the grocery store, and on my 8-block road to the grocery store, I'm like, oh, you know what, there's a gym over there that only has, like, a Pikachu defending it. I'll just take a 2-block detour, and I'll go take over that gym. And then I was like, oh, but then if I go down another block this way, there's a gym that is already my team color and just needs, like, an extra Pokemon. I was like, oh, I'll just go down there and drop one off. I was like, oh, but there's a raid over there, and I could get, like, a Croconaw if I fight it, and beat. Oh, so I'm just going to go over there. And I spent 3 hours going to the grocery store. And
3 hours going to the grocery store?
I did.
And then your battery died in your phone at that point. That's why you had to stop.
Well, I had to charge up my phone 3 times that day. So, yeah, I've been playing that a lot. I've spent a lot of hours doing that.
That sounds wonderful. Still does not convince me to get Pokemon Go.
Oh, no, I don't care if it convinces you of fucking anything, because you're a twerp. Twerp. I haven't said that word since I was maybe 11.
So mean to me, Chad.
Twerp. What does that even mean?
I don't know, but it's derogatory towards me, so I don't like it.
Derogatory. Holden, what have you been playing? Why am I talking so much?
You're talking a lot today.
I'm going to pour this water while you tell me about stuff.
Whoa. So I've been playing ARMS, which you laughed and scoffed at, but I
did not scoff.
You scoffed at it. You were like...
No, I said, I'm not playing ARMS, you silly Billy Gumdrop.
It's fantastic.
Shout out to Michael Schuff
super
phrase.
good.
I'm sorry, were you talking again?
I was talking
again.
Okay,
say it again.
Actually, I was talking for the first time on this episode. Just been playing a lot of ARMS. Been playing Horizon Zero Dawn.
Oh, that's right. You have been playing Horizon.
I played a little bit of it. I'm now out of Mother's Heart. I've passed
Spoiler alert. I'm just kidding.
At this point, there's no spoilers. Like, it's been out long enough. We're talking about it. I think I'm liking the story more than I am liking the gameplay. I'm really having to warm up to the gameplay.
Isn't the story freaking awesome?
The story is fantastic. It is so good. That's definitely kind of keeping me going along. I know how the game ends to a degree, but I don't know the full ending. I kind of know who Aloy is, so there's not a whole lot of mystery there for me, but I still want to see like how these things get revealed. I want to find out more about Rost.
Yeah,
Rost, yeah. So I'm still very much into that. There's just one huge annoyance that I have.
What's that?
Climbing, like, yeah, this is a different game. I'm kind of past that at this point. That did bug me at first, but I'm past that. When I want to use my bow, I want to be able to use the gyroscope controls to fine tune, but I can't. So
I talked about that in Tomb Raider with you too. Like, I'm so used to using the gyroscope.
I keep trying to aim, and it's like I feel like I can't aim properly. Like I get on the section of the robot that I need to hit, but I'm just a little bit off. So I adjust, and then I'm past it. And then I adjust, and I'm past it. And I just can't aim properly.
You know what I found is kind of more, a little bit
more helpful?
Slow down helps. Slow down helps, too. Yeah. But also just being better.
Yeah, that helps.
Yeah, if you're better, it's easier.
I try to plan for where I think he's going to be, and then I just kind of aim ahead, and then wait till he's there.
You know one of my favorite things in that
him.
game to do?
Mm-hmm.
If you find a whole field of grazers,
Mm-hmm.
those are the ones with like the little fire canisters on their back.
Yeah.
And you just kind of camp out inside, and then you get your fire arrows out, and you go shoot the canisters on one, slow down time, shoot the canisters on another, and then by the time time speeds back up, all 4 of them just explode, and everyone in the area dies all at once, and it's so satisfying.
It takes me too long to fire a single fire arrow, or really any arrow, to do that.
Really?
Yeah.
Hey, go back in time and remember that comment where I said, be better?
Mm-hmm.
Let's do that.
Just do that? Okay.
I
I'll go
posted
back
a
to my
video,
PS4.
actually, on Facebook
I'll hold
of me
my
doing
controller and be just like, be better, Holden. Be better.
Mm-hmm.
And it'll just work. It'll be perfect.
Yeah.
That's going to play out. So I'm playing a lot of Horizon, but I'm playing a ton of ARMS.
Okay.
I am continually impressed by how deep that game really is.
Deep?
Yes.
How so?
So there are like 30 arms that you can get for your characters.
Oh, I get why it's called ARMS now. Okay.
And you can exchange them between the characters. You have like multiple arms on a character each time. But eventually you gain access to every arm on every character. And there's just combining the abilities of the character to like the abilities of the arms and just how each arm works. It differs a lot.
So there's just deep customization.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. But also it's like, it's not so much about memorizing combos and just knowing what moves to make.
Right,
it's about,
because there are no combos.
there are no combos. It's about reading your opponent and just knowing what they're going to do next. So it's deep just because the motion controls really opens it up to kind of feeling like you can do whatever you want. So like how you punch, the direction you punch, like ducking under a punch to reach out and grab them. Like it's just learning different maneuvers that you can do and kind of being surprised by how much you can really do in that game. But I just love the moment-to-moment like action between players. It's just so much fun. Like the more I play it,
I'm
totally hooked.
Are there any like environmental changes?
Yes.
Like are there like sand pits or obstacles or things like that? Or ways that the environment helps you?
Each environment differs in some way. So like Springman's level has these little like trampolines lining the edge of the course.
Okay.
So you can kind of like jump on that, jump even higher, so you can kind of get a leg up on your opponent. Same thing with there are these cars in the Cinema Dew level, which is Twin Tails level, and you can jump on the cars to jump up higher and like also attack. There's these like, it's called the DNA lab, I think, and there are these kind of like big pillars that are filled with like this green goo, and you can
Sperm.
It's sperm.
It's
exactly.
called sperm.
It's green
Yeah.
sperm, and you can. The trick there is
Wait, your
to
sperm's
use
not
those.
normally green?
You can use the pillars to kind of block your opponent, but I use a boomerang and like this whip arm a lot, so I can kind of swivel around the pillars to hit my opponent, even though they can't see me and they can't hit me. So kind of what arms you choose also can help you in each arena, and that's just like a taste. Like each arena has something totally unique about it.
Good.
So there's a lot to know.
There wasn't really much of that in the beta, was there? In the test
No,
punch?
there wasn't.
Okay.
There wasn't.
Because I was thinking in my head, is like, you know, the thing about Mario Kart, there is deep customization, and like you could get so many different types of tires or umbrellas or carts.
You kind of just stick with the same.
Yeah, and that's what I was
Same
just thinking to
things
myself. I was
over
like,
and
yeah,
over
there are 30 different types of arms, but do you just find the ones that you like and then never use the rest?
No, because like how it works is you might have like the boxing glove, right?
Yeah.
And this boxing glove has a lightning ability where if you charge it, your punch, and then hit your opponent, he gets shocked and both of his arms are useless.
Oh, lightning shocks people. Okay.
Yep. And then you can also, there's a freeze glove, so you can punch them and it slows them down. There's a fire one. So like there's different types of the same style of glove, but also like the whip glove I was talking about. You can get that in a fire variety as well, or just like a stun variety, or it stuns your enemy. So you have different styles of arms, but they might have different like elemental attributes to them as well. So there's actually a lot to play with.
Cool.
There's one arm I still can't figure out, and it looks like a lion's face almost. It's like a white
Like the Cestus
shield
from God of War 3? Or no,
No,
it's
it-
Change of Olympus?
It's like a white shield that looks like a lion's face with a green mane. And when you punch it out, it's like a little shield that can just block other punches from hitting you. But it's also electrified, so if you hit your opponent with it, they get shocked.
Ooh.
But it's really tough to use. But I've seen people use it pretty well, so I know it can be used effectively. I just don't know how to use it quite yet.
So you're just good at getting your ass kicked by it. But
by
you have to
that
figure
one
out
in
how to kick
particular,
ass with
yeah.
it.
I figured out to get around it just by using a boomerang. You can kind of just get around it.
Let's go back and see my comment about being better.
Yeah, see, you haven't even played the game, so you can't even
I
say
have
that
played
in
the
this
game.
case.
I played the test punch for an hour, and I got all I needed to get out of it. I
Nah.
didn't hate it, but
It's so good.
that's all I wanted from it.
It's so good. I think you'd like it if you put some more time into it.
No,
but
I mean
you're
it's
not
just
going
like
to.
it's like Marvel vs. Capcom 2. It's a fantastic game and it's a cool fighter, but then it's like awesome. I've played about 10 rounds and that's all I need.
Yeah, I'm hooked on ARMS. I can't stop playing it. It actually every time I start playing Horizon, I'm like, I should get back to playing ARMS. And then sometimes play ARMS when I play Horizon. But
I'm gonna
usually
bend your
it's the other
Switch so you're forced to take 5 to 6 days to not play ARMS.
way. And you're gonna pay to get it replaced because it's
No, because it's covered
broken.
under warranty because it's bent, and that's what happens to Switches.
If
So,
you were to bend it though, it would probably snap it.
you're gonna snap it.
No,
Now, if you heat it up, I know physics.
or you're gonna heat it up.
Yeah, I get a
don't
blowtorch
do
and
that.
then bend it once it starts to soften.
Don't do that.
Holden, it's covered under warranty, and you already have plenty of other things to play.
I don't want to go 5 days without my arms.
Holden, your roommate's going 5 days without his legs. More like a year without his legs. I don't know.
It's like
How
2
long do
months.
broken legs take?
2 months.
2 months.
Yeah.
Woof.
Yeah, my roommate broke.
Y'all
his
don't play
legs.
soccer. Just play FIFA.
Yeah, real sports are for wusses.
Yeah, FIFA. You're at home. You don't break stuff.
It's
Hey,
important. Do you want to talk
what
about the
happened?
news?
What happened to some news to this week? Wait, are those the only games you played?
I played a little bit of Super Metroid, but not a whole lot.
Nice.
I'm getting an itch.
3DS?
Yeah, I'm playing on my 3DS. I'm getting the itch to play Metroid right now because of this announcement.
Right. Because in September, Metroid 2 Remake is coming.
Yeah.
I'm getting an itch to play old games, but I'm like, gonna not gonna do that because Virtual Console is gonna come out, so might as well not pay for them somewhere else.
Well, I already had it on 3DS.
I
didn't
already
buy it.
have you in my pocket.
Well, I bought it a while ago.
Okay.
What news you got for me, Chad?
Holden, I got a story.
You have a story?
I got a story.
Tell me a story. Start with Once Upon a Time.
No, it starts with,
okay.
shut up, you stupid hoe.
That's actually a good introduction. Every
Shut up,
fairy
you
tale.
stupid hoe, said the womanizer. And then he went to jail because he probably did something bad.
That's a wonderful story, Chad.
It's not over yet.
Oh, it's not over yet?
And then in jail, he read a headline from IGN.com that says, Uncharted series likely to continue after Lost Legacy, says Naughty Dog.
I saw that.
Yeah.
I obviously wouldn't have Nathan Drake.
No.
That's what they're
Nathan
experimenting
Drake
with.
is done, and they were very clear when they were making Uncharted 4. Like, this is the end of Nathan Drake's story.
Who else would they do? Would they do like an early Sully story?
Well,
maybe?
they had mentioned, they said, hold on, there's a quote in here. Hold on. It said, I wouldn't say it's the end. This is from Escaig. Whoever the fuck that is. I wouldn't say it's the end. This thieving world is huge. There's so many characters. Even before we settled on Lost Legacy's story, we were exploring Sullivan, we were exploring Cutter, and pairing each other. Sorry, Kata, and pairing each other up, thinking what would be right, what would have conflict, growth, something new, something fresh, and Chloe was the one that kept jumping out. So they have stories in mind about Kata and Sully. And I think that what we saw from the trailer at E3 is they can absolutely make an Uncharted game without Nathan Drake.
Yeah, I mean, I still want to play Lost Legacy to really experience that.
This
but
Chloe
yeah.
Nadine story looks full on Uncharted, and I'm so excited. And it's gonna be like it's no longer, it's shifted from single player DLC for Uncharted 4 to kind of like, oh, it's actually standalone DLC to now it's its own game.
Yeah.
So that's exciting.
Very exciting stuff.
And there was a time when I'd be like, oh, no, but Uncharted, no. But no, seeing what they're doing with Chloe and Nadine, I'm very into it.
I have an interesting story.
Hey, tell me that story in 40 words. Exactly.
It's going to take more than 40 words.
You're
this
wasting
is
your words,
exciting.
Holden.
I'm not wasting them. These are all important words.
Okay, go.
Have you heard of the Atari news this week?
Yes.
They're talking about making a new console.
Yes.
I'm really curious.
There's no way it's a home console.
They
said
it
has to be like the NES Classic, but for Atari games.
That'd be interesting, but I don't think so because there was a description of it that implied that it was going to be more than that. Where was it?
Atari, you almost...
It's going to be a PC-based design. That does not sound like
Steam boxes.
So yeah, so
because we all saw how successful Steam boxes were.
Hey, it's their own thing. Maybe it's going to be like not branded like an Xbox, but it'll be like Xbox and there's Atari and PlayStation 4.
I mean, what first-party properties do they have now that matter?
Snake Pit.
Asteroids.
Snake Pit, made for the modern era.
Oh my god.
Open world Snake Pit. Turn to your left, there's a Snake Pit. See the Snake Pit over there? You can go to that Snake Pit.
See,
it's going to be
here's
great.
the problem. there are already enough people in the console business, the home console business. And then there's the PC side of things, where people love to be modular and go crazy and love drivers. And then there's this market that they want to exist, where people are like, oh, people want a PC game, but they don't want to have to worry about all the modular upgrades and things like that.
It's called a console.
So we're going to make the... And I know, right? That's a console.
Yeah.
So that's what Steam tried to do with the Steam box. You can play all your PC games on this pre-made stupid box, and no one wants it. Because if you're going to play PC games, you are already in that mindset. You're like, yeah, I fucking want to deal with replacing my own graphics cards every 2 months and stupid shit.
Maybe this is like its own topic, but why, like, I feel like to really meet that, they would have to meet that like need of having like a PC, kind of easier PC experience.
Yeah.
Would be having a modular design where you can like pull graphics cards out and put a new one in. But then you're having these specially designed graphics cards that are probably going to cost more than just a standard graphics card you can put in a PC, which then just means that you might as well save money and just get the PC.
Right.
Because it's really not that hard making a PC.
No.
You look it up online. Like, it's obviously, it's harder than taking a PS4 out of a box and plugging it in, but it's not astronomically difficult that most people couldn't do it. Most people can probably do it.
And it's not to say that they're necessarily going that route, because I still believe that with the cagey words that they said when they announced it, I still think it's going to be like an Atari Classic. But
He said in the interview, we're back in the hardware business, and it's going to be a PC-based design. To me, for them then to, after saying that, to come out and be like, you can play old Atari games, would be an odd step forward.
There's no way they're making another console.
It sounds like they're making another console.
Doing it. They're not doing it. I've decided for them. I've right now adopted the role of CEO of Atari, and I said we're also going to adopt a lot of puppies. Because that's more marketable than the stupid PC console idea.
I think this is going to happen. I think this makes... I'm not going to say it makes sense, but I can see it happening.
Mm-hmm.
Whether it's successful or not is totally dependent on whether it gets Half-Life 3 at launch or not.
Or
it's gonna need something
Half-Life
big.
2 Episode 3.
That's true. Which we will talk about that.
Will we, though?
In a future segment.
Shut up.
Coming up in probably a little bit.
Oh.
You're...
battery. Let me change this battery. Hey, y'all, I'm back. Audio issues fixed. New battery.
Mm-hmm.
Speaking of Steam and Valve, hey, Steam sale's going on, summer sale. Go buy a bunch of games.
No
at
one
$1
knows we were
and
just
never play
talking
them.
about Steam because we weren't recording
Yeah,
right
the
now.
whole last segment was about goddamn Steam.
Whatever.
And boxes and Atari.
Whatever, Chad.
That's a sad fish. Hey, here's another news article for you. Speaking of Steam, Valve shows off new Knuckles VR controller.
I saw that
tracking.
headline. Didn't see anything else about it. Individual finger tracking. That's interesting.
Yeah, individual finger tracking. So if you look at the schematic there,
yeah.
Basically you have your finger, you're pointing your finger on a trigger. Your thumb is obviously on a little touchpad.
It actually
up top.
looks very similarly to the Oculus Touch.
Yeah. And then it has 3 little ridges that are capacitive buttons that your pinky, your ring, and your middle finger are on.
Interesting. So it can't tell the exact movement of your fingers. It can more tell if they're on that sensor or not.
Correct. Yes. So you can do things like you can
grab
point
things
with one finger.
Yeah.
You can grab. You can do like the rock on or the shocker gesture.
That's the kind of stuff that's really going to make a big difference in VR.
Yeah.
Because like playing, is it I Expect You to Die?
Yep.
Where you're in a car, you're trying to escape the car, you're opening the glove box. You get the sensor leaning over to open the glove box, but it doesn't feel like you're opening a glove box because you're hitting a button on the PlayStation Move controller, which feels nothing like moving your hand in real life.
I don't think you've ever moved your hand in real life because they feel exactly the same.
Yeah, like opening a glove box and hitting the X button on the Move controller are the exact same thing. Totally.
Yeah, I have an X button on my thumb, so. So that looks pretty cool.
That's very cool.
That's something that I hope we start to see more and more innovations in this VR controller world until we get to something that feels really legit and organic, and then everybody has kind of their version of that.
Yeah.
Similar to how we have with the DualShock and the Xbox One controller and whatever the hell a Joy-Con is.
Yeah, that's why I'm not necessarily worried about VR as a platform because it's still so early in what it will be. There's still new hardware coming out defining what the genre or what the platform actually will
Here's what else I
control
hope happens.
going forward.
I hope that they just make like 80 peripherals, and every game has its own peripheral that you can buy.
Oh, totally. That sounds awesome.
You spend a lot of money, and then you have a whole closet full of plastic.
Absolutely.
Although
it'll have the Guitar Hero effect, and it'll last
PlayStation
forever.
Aim controller though is the tits.
That is really pretty great. They could be. I'm fine with accessories like that because a gun accessory can be used in so many games.
So much stuff. In fact, it looks like that accessory is going to be used in Supermassive's upcoming cover-based VR shooter.
Oh, cool.
That they announced at E3.
Very cool.
During the pre-show.
I have a game to talk about. Was also announced at E3 and talked about at E3.
Tell me about it.
There was an in-game engine demo of Beyond Good and Evil 2. Did you see this?
No.
It was 14 minutes of footage of their prototype and how it works. And they didn't necessarily show like actual gameplay, what it'll look like to play the game, and when it comes out.
Yeah.
But they basically showed that monkey character flying around the spaceship and how he was able to zoom in and out of the world and basically go all the way up into space and then back down to that that was it. Was it the statue? Was it the big statue of the woman kind of in like meditation pose?
No Man's Sky.
Exactly. That's exactly what I'm getting at. They're so desperate to show that this game is real. I've never seen more footage shown of a game a week after E3 than was actually shown at E3.
Yeah, because everyone was like, oh, cool, you have a CG trailer, but what the fuck is your game, and why are you asking us for funding and helping make it?
The engine itself looks gorgeous. It actually didn't look that far off from the CG trailer.
They've been working on it for years. It better be gorgeous.
3 years, yeah.
Your years.
So we'll see, but I thought that was notable. They're really showing it off.
Sexually.
Yeah, and we'll talk more about that in our segment about Vaporware.
Oh, way to tease that little Vaporware. For all of you out there who don't know what Vaporware is, it's where
we'll talk about Vaporware. Don't even talk about it. Don't talk about it. Don't spoil it. That's for the future of the podcast.
Hey.
I got 3 more stories. What do you got for me, Chad?
I've got...
They're all Nintendo related, too.
Set's classic thing. What?
Set's classic thing?
I wrote down... Set's classic thing.
Oh, of course.
As like a keyword, like, oh, that's going to jog my memory, and I'll remember what the fuck it is.
Well, do you want me to share the story while you figure that out?
It autocorrected Sega.
Oh, Sega Forever.
Sega Forever, yes. All of your favorite, and by that I mean all of the Sega Master System, Genesis, Dreamcast, all of those games are coming to iOS and Android in free form.
With ads.
With ads. You can pay $1.99 per title, though, to get them ad-free.
That's not terrible.
I think it's a cool idea. I mean, obviously, they're not in the hardware business, and all of these things, they've been released. They got all the money out of them for 100 times on all these consoles, but Sega has a trash record of their games on iOS. Like, they don't control well. It's a touchscreen.
They're not designed for touchscreen.
No.
They're designed for a controller.
No, yep. So don't pay money for it, guys. Test it out first.
I can't think of any Sega games that I want to go back and play.
Yeah, you want to go back and play Sonic the Hedgehog for free for 10 minutes till you realize it's not worth playing. And then Phantasy Star could be good. It's been a while since I played Phantasy Star. Plus, I would love to play Phantasy Star.
Are they going to have Phantasy Star, though?
Yeah, they said Phantasy Star 2.
Is that 3D or is that 2D?
Is it Crazy Taxi's coming?
Crazy
Phantasy
Taxi
Star 2 is an old, I think it's Master System. It's 2D.
Okay.
Dumb
2D games. Games didn't get good till 3D. 2D games are dumb.
Holden, shut up. Yeah, go.
Go, go, go?
Yeah, I have 4 more stories.
You have 4 more stories. I have 3 more. So, LA Noire is apparently going to be coming out again for PS4, Xbox One, PC, and Nintendo Switch.
Good.
And it'll have a VR mode on the PlayStation 4, as well as just a first-person mode, just like they had in the most recent Grand Theft Auto remake for the PS4 and Xbox One. I think Rockstar was already said they're going to be making games on the Switch, so it wouldn't be too surprising. It's also an older game, so running on the Switch isn't terribly surprising. But do they have to pick LA Noire?
Yeah, I know, right? Did you play that one?
I didn't. My roommate Katie says it's great, however, but I've heard that from literally nobody else.
Katie Pooler, I love you, and I love that you love Uncharted. But the rest of your game taste.
This is the only other game I think you're aware of.
Okay, no. She has. I don't know much of her game taste, but sometimes in movies, I'm like, really?
The idea of LA Noire is super cool.
Yeah, it's a cool concept, but it looks
reading
hella boring.
faces.
I've never done it myself, but I've watched a lot of gameplay videos, and it just looks hella boring and super easy.
Okay.
Like, they're like, hey, try to figure out if he's lying or not. And then they'll be
he's like
hey,
winking nonstop or something.
Yeah, it's something very obvious in his voice. It's like, where's the body? In the, not the dumpster. I mean, it's not that blatant, but it's super obvious.
Did you see her? No, I didn't see her.
But that's interesting that's coming to Switch though.
Yeah.
So at least you got something else that is not that good, but you'll claim is really good because it's on the Nintendo Switch.
Hey, I like Nintendo Switch. Actually, I think so far this has more well-received titles than other Nintendo systems have had in their opening.
I know. I'm just making a joke.
No, it
has a lot of good stuff on it.
I have to defend. There's only two good games. There's only two good games.
Really?
Yeah.
Because you were going off the walls about Tumbleseed and Mr. Shifty and Zelda and
Zelda's
Arms
not
and
the best
Mario
game.
Kart.
Zelda's terrible. Mario Kart is also terrible.
And Fast RMX.
The only two games that are good are Snake Pass and Snipper
And you were
Clips.
going off about Snake Pass and...
No,
and
I wasn't going off
Clips.
that. I was saying I was enjoying Snake
Holden,
Pass.
I'm right. That's how you win arguments, okay?
You just announced that you're right?
Yes.
Well, I'll agree to disagree. So, what's new, Chad? Give me another story.
Another story. I don't actually have this in my stories list, but I remembered it. Blizzard is hiring to potentially make remakes of Diablo 2 and Warcraft 3. And I'm really pumped for this because Diablo 2 is one of my favorite games of all time. But
is it coming to Switch? If so, I will care. If not,
if it comes to Switch and you buy it, I will also buy it on Switch and we'll play the shit out of it.
Whoa, you'd buy it on Switch?
I would buy it on Switch over the PS4 if you buy it on Switch. Because I know that's the only way you're ever going to potentially play it.
I don't know.
Because if the game is a 6 to you, but it's on the Switch, it automatically becomes a 9.5.
And if it's marginally good as a game, it's a 10. As long as it's on the Switch.
Yeah, they basically posted a job listing that says, hey, we have all these great games that people love, but it's becoming harder and harder to play them on today's hardware. We just want to update them and make them available to a new audience or available to play on the newest hardware. So I hope that means console.
That means console, yeah.
Because they have a good track record recently.
Well, Diablo 3
Overwatch,
is also
Diablo
on.
3,
It's also on console.
Diablo 1 on the PlayStation 1.
Mm-hmm. World of Warcraft?
Nope.
No, it definitely is on console.
And Starcraft Ghost, which we'll get to in a later segment.
Yep, and Overwatch 5. Great game.
Shut up.
I'll stop.
Everything we've mentioned until right now, except for what you said, is real. So everything I said is real.
Again, you're always right.
Holden, I'm right. Holden, I'm right. Hey, I'm going to do one more because I have more than you. La 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 la. This one's a baby one. I'm so hyper right now.
You're very hyper today.
Sometimes when I eat, the food turns to alcohol in my tummy, and I just get really excited.
It just turns to booze.
Yeah.
Jesus, you're like Jesus.
I'm like Jesus. I just thought this was cool. Metroid Samus Returns, the remake of Metroid 2 coming out. If you buy the special edition, it comes in a steelbook case that looks like a giant Game Boy cartridge.
Ooh, that's really cool.
Have you seen that?
No, I haven't.
Have you seen this?
I'm going to look it up right now.
there.
I want to see it. Ooh.
Yeah, it's a Metroid 2 Game Boy cartridge.
That's cool.
It's steelbook.
That's the best news of the whole week.
But I think it right now is just European.
Yep, of course, because they get a lot of really good bundles
right?
over there.
Fucking Europeans, just because they pay so much more money. They're like, hey, the pound and the euro are really, really shitty, and we like paying more for things. So
I just can't wait
we're
for
gonna
this
get
game.
better stuff.
This game's gonna be
so good. Hey, if you're
good.
from Europe though, or Britain, we love you. Thanks for listening. Let's make out sometime. Holden, go.
Do I have a story for you? I have a story for you. So my next story is in an interview with Reggie Fils-Aimé. I can't remember with who
I think you mean Phil's Amy?
Yeah, that's exactly what it is. He talked about Animal Crossing Mobile and why it wasn't talked about at E3. I think they haven't talked about it just for the reason that he said, which is that they... What?
I love that. I think my thoughts align exactly with what came out of his mouth verbatim.
Well, no, I didn't.
I'm going to base my opinion off of something that he said is true.
I didn't think they were going to talk about Animal Crossing at E3 beforehand because that's not the right place to talk about a mobile game. They want to make a small experience of it. My only debate was that they might be launching a full-on Animal Crossing game along with the mobile game, which might mean you do want to talk about it at E3. So they didn't talk about it at E3. I think it's just going to be mobile game, and there's going to be no like bundle with a larger Animal Crossing experience. So it just, to me, that's what is a sign of. And then they also talked about in the interview too that what was it? Apparently he slipped up and he said that Metroid Prime 4 was coming next year, and then Nintendo had to clarify and say, oh no, he meant 2018 and beyond. He did not mean 2018.
No, Metroid Prime is not coming next year. Did you see the title screen?
That doesn't mean anything. They could still release it next year.
No, they couldn't. It just said Metroid Prime 4
That's
currently in development for Nintendo Switch.
But you could say that at any point if you want. You could say that 3 weeks before it comes out. Still in development.
But why would you? Because you have nothing fucking else to show.
They could just be holding it back and teasing
Holden, shut up.
I want to be optimistic, Chad.
No, you want to be naive.
No, I want to be optimistic.
Oh, man. Hey, I just want to let you know. I haven't said this yet before, but every single time that somebody says full on, like you said, full on Animal Crossing.
Yeah.
And earlier in the podcast, I said full on something else. In my head, for the next 10 seconds after somebody says full on, I have to say, don't say full on rapist. Don't say full on rapist.
And now
because
you're saying
Sunny
it right
in
now.
Philadelphia episode where they tell Charlie he's supposed to be a philanthropist, and he can't remember the word philanthropist, so he says full on rapist. Oh, man, I just had to get that out. Hey, I have another story.
You do?
Hey, do you care about Call of Duty Modern Warfare?
Not really.
Me neither, but if you wanted it by itself, you can get it.
That's not exciting at all. I don't care.
Yeah, so the remaster was only available if you bought Infinite Warfare.
Yep, Infinite
one.
Warfare.
The
best-selling Call of Duty.
If you bought that special edition one, then you could get the remaster. Everyone was like, but I want it by itself because I don't want the remaster, blah, blah. And so now you can finally get it by itself.
Wonderful for those people.
Hey, is that the end of your newses?
That's the end of my newses.
I got one more newses. There was a third-party Nintendo Switch dock.
What?
You didn't see this?
I did.
Okay. Yeah, third-party Nintendo Switch dock from Nyko. A lot more portable. It is much more like just a little cradle rather than a full-on dock, which has its pluses and minuses.
Like scratching's not probably going to be an issue?
Exactly. You won't have to worry about scratching. It still comes with all the same USB ports. It is a lot cheaper than buying a Nintendo dock, which means so it's going to come into like $40 to $45, whereas a Nintendo dock right now costs $60 plus $30 for the adapter. So that's really cool if you like want to take a dock on the go and leave one at home or put one at work.
That dock is not easy to pack. I usually like the Nintendo's official dock.
Yeah.
I usually have to stuff something like stocks or something like that in the middle of the dock because I'm worried it will kind of bend in my bag. It's a weird thing to pack.
You're a weird thing to pack.
I don't fit in bags very, very easily.
Really?
I don't. I tried many times.
Have you tried Dismemberment?
Yeah, I did. It hurt.
You ever played Dead Space? That game was so good. Dismemberment is...
That's a game. That's a franchise I want to come back.
Me too, or at least just like a remaster. No, I want it to come back.
No, I want a new one. I don't want a remaster.
That's all the news that I've got, ladies and one gentleman. Because,
well, we've got a segment I've been looking forward to.
Have you?
I have been looking forward to.
Have you been wide forward about it?
That was terrible. That was almost worse than when I brought it up. So we're going to talk about Vaporware. For those of you who don't know, Vaporware...
We already talked about this, when you vape through your underwear.
Well,
so that your parents don't smell the vape smoke.
Another common definition, that's a very common definition of Vaporware. What we'll be talking about is a game that has been announced. Vaporware is a game that has been announced and has not come out. And it's been a very long time, essentially. It hasn't been canceled officially. There's no official word that it is gone. They've not said it's not in development, but it's just kind of fizzled out of existence. It's just not kind of commonly talked about anymore. I think the most obvious example of Vaporware is Half-Life 3, where like they haven't shown it off ever, but they've basically said, hey, we're going to conclude Half-Life with Half-Life 2 Episode 3, which that never showed up, and there was talk about Half-Life 3, and that kind of disappeared. So it was kind of officially announced, and then kind of fizzled off. And
yeah, they were supposed to wrap up all 3 episodes of Half-Life 2 in 2007.
Yeah.
And then
that was
Episode
10 years
3
ago.
just never came out.
Yeah. So I think that's probably the most popular example of a vaporware. But I wanted to talk about like some.
Did we ever see any footage and things like that?
No. There's concept art, but that's like leaked stuff. That's not official.
The kind of stuff that fascinates me, and I think all three of mine are examples of these. Mm-hmm. The kind of things that fascinate me are the ones that we see legit gameplay for.
Yeah.
And then they're just gone forever.
Mm-hmm.
And you never hear anything about it. They're not canceled. Maybe they renew the trademark. Maybe they don't. Yep. It's fucking fascinating.
Oh, yeah. I think just to throw up some examples of games that have come out recently that were vaporware but actually did come out.
Yeah.
Last Guardian is that was almost a decade of development.
Yeah, that's one where they showed it off and then they didn't, like 2 years later, we hadn't, like they showed off the last thing and then for 7 years they were like, no, it's still coming.
Yeah.
We promise it's still coming.
There was 2 big ones last year because we also had Final Fantasy 15, which was Final Fantasy Versus 13. They changed it, Final Fantasy 15, so that eventually came out as well. And then Duke Nukem Forever is a fun example. That was supposed to come out in 1998, and it came out, 2011 or something like that?
Duke Nukem. And then it was terrible. So.
Oh, it was totally awful, yeah. Which is also pretty common. 2011, I was right. Yeah, the games usually aren't very good. What was that?
What do you mean common?
And then 2 Human is the first exposure I had to vaporware.
2 Human. Wait, no, that actually came out.
It did come out, yeah, but that was like.
So these came out. So none of these are vaporware. So
that's what I'm saying. All these I just mentioned are games that were vaporware but eventually came out.
Cool.
So, but we're going to talk about games that haven't come out yet.
I have 3 pretty high-profile ones.
I have 3 pretty high-profile ones as well.
Yeah?
I actually have a few extras just in case.
Well, then I don't have any extras, so I'm going to name one.
You go first, then.
Okay. First is probably like one of the most high-profile ones, if not the most. Starcraft Ghost is a game.
I actually haven't heard of this
You've never heard of Starcraft Ghost?
No.
So this one was announced way back in 2002. It's a Blizzard game. Obviously, StarCraft, Blizzard. But it was supposed to be a third-person action kind of shooter for the PlayStation 2, Xbox, and the GameCube. Mm-hmm. It was in development at Nihilistic Software. And then in 2004, so 2 years after they announced that it existed, they transferred development to Swingin' Ape Studios. But that studio is now still owned by Blizzard. Mm-hmm. And then, still under development, they said, yep, it's coming. And there is so much gameplay. There's like a 20-minute gameplay video on IGN of this stuff. The trailers are legit. And then in 2005, they canceled just the GameCube version. PS2 and Xbox, still nothing heard of. But they haven't said that it's canceled.
That's really funny.
It did win. Wired News has annual Vaporware Awards. In 2005, it won, ranked 5th in their Vaporware Awards. That game was so promising to me. Like, I saw the trailers for that, and I was like, oh my god, this is so good. It was going to be a Blizzard game. Mm-hmm. I'm not really a fan of RTSs, so I never played StarCraft, but the lore kind of was interesting to me, and I was like, I would love to play a third-person style shooter in this universe with this lore. So Starcraft Ghost may still come sometime in the future, just not to GameCube.
I mean, probably won't come to PS2 or Xbox either.
maybe via backwards compatibility.
That'd be really funny. Like, they're releasing for Xbox because of, backwards compatibility. It still will work.
What if they did?
That'd be hysterical.
I mean, like last year there was that one company that released an indie game on an NES cartridge. Like a legit, you could play it on an NES.
That's different, though. This isn't.
What if they did? It's like, hey, we're going to release StarCraft Ghost as a PS2 classic for PS4 and a backwards compatible Xbox game. No one's ever played it before. But yeah, I was totally looking forward to that one.
Well, I got one that is also pretty prominent. People probably have heard of this one. It's actually still talked about very heavily today.
Yeah.
That is Kingdom Hearts 3. Technically, I would consider that vaporware.
I don't know. I don't think I would consider that vaporware because we do routinely see new stuff from it. Like, we even just saw a new trailer.
They're still undetermined of when it's coming out. It's still very hazy. They haven't really gotten a chance to really work on it until last year.
Yeah, but I think when I think of vaporware,
they've been showing off a lot of it.
When I think of vaporware, it's something like you get announced. Maybe we see a trailer. Maybe we don't. But then it just goes radio silent, but they insist that it's still there. And like, well, we're not canceling it. It's still there, but you don't hear anything from it.
But it still hasn't released yet. It doesn't matter
it
how
hasn't
much
released
it
yet,
still doesn't matter how much the company talks about it. It matters of Kingdom Hearts 3 has been talked about since 2004, and it still hasn't come out yet. They have had tons of games in the franchise released that tease at the story details of Kingdom Hearts 3, a game that has still not come out yet. And all the teases we get are still very vague and show off practically alpha prototypes.
Yeah, but they still like...
They're still not talking...
Vaporware's like, it just disappears into the ether, never to be seen again. But it has. We just saw new stuff at E3. They're still showing new stuff routinely. I don't know if I would consider that one Vaporware.
I'd still keep it in that status just because of its long development time.
A long-ass development cycle?
Yeah.
Like a stupid-ass long development cycle for a game that's probably not going to be that good?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, I would consider it that. I don't know if I consider it Vaporware, though.
I consider it Vaporware.
Well, you're wrong.
Hey, I'm right, Holden. I still have other examples. Okay. I still have 3 that still meet your definitions.
I'm going to give you another one.
Okay.
Go for it.
Agent.
God damn it, that was one of my 3.
Agent. I think I know what your next one is going to be too, actually.
Yeah, you do, because I've already talked about it like twice on this podcast.
Oh, then I don't know it then.
Oh, just kidding.
Or that I don't. It's not the same thing then. So Agent was made by Rockstar, or was going to be made by Rockstar. Yeah. And essentially is a spy-related game. I don't think it was supposed to be open world, though, like Grand Theft Auto was intended to be. But it was supposed to be on PlayStation 3. Yeah, it was announced exclusive. In 2007 and has not been seen since. There were some like screenshots I saw back in Game Informer as a kid, and that's about all that we've seen.
Yeah. They did renew the trademarks in 2013, I think it was. But
I mean, that
they insist it exists.
That's a company that could absolutely sit on something until it's ready. That's a long time for something to be ready, but
they're just straight up not working on it. You know they're not working on it. I don't know why they won't say, "Oh yeah, by the way, this project was dumb and it's dead."
I can understand why Valve wouldn't say anything about Half-Life 3, but Agent, there's no like dedicated Agent fan base.
I know. There's nobody like looking forward to this title.
They're not making Agent. I'm never buying Grand Theft Auto again.
Stupid. So my last little Vaporware here that I so want to exist is Deep Down.
I have that on the list, yeah.
Yep. Capcom announced this one back in 2013, or February of 2013 at the PS4 reveal event. As we've kind of talked about on the show before, it's a cool-looking dungeon crawler with multiplayer up to 4 people. They said it's kind of like an easier Dark Souls, but multiplayer. It looks really, really cool. They were developing this whole engine for it, and that was going to be Capcom's
Piranha engine?
Yeah, it was going to be their main engine that they're going to use going forward. And then later that year at Tokyo Game Show, we see, all right, it's going to be free to play, and we're taking a little bit of a different curve to it, but it's still in development. And then we never see anything ever again. But I think it was last year. Last year they did say, yeah, it's still talking about it.
I'm surprised they're even still talking about it because that was a game that was announced before we even knew there was a Dark Souls game coming. So it kind of fit in that niche of there not being a Dark Souls game yet, but now we have a Dark Souls game. We have a lot of games that are very similar to Dark Souls. I don't know what the place for this game is. I don't.
So they say the initial expected release date was to be in 2014 after a public beta coincided with the Japanese release of the PS4. And then in early 2015, Kazunori Segura, however you say that name, stated in an interview with 4Gamer that the vision for the game has expanded since its initial 2013 reveal to better appeal in the long term to players. So the development timescale has also been extended. As of now, public beta has not to be seen, and the game has not been released. It's been so many years, Holden. Just give me Deep Down. And again, the sad thing is, most of these are not going to be good games if they ever come out.
No, they won't be. Kingdom Hearts 3 will be a good game, though.
No, it won't. I mean, people will like it, but it won't be a good game.
I still want to play the old
ones. It'll be like you and ARMS.
ARMS is great.
I know. I just like joking about it.
I have one more.
Okay.
I'm proud of this one. This is actually a good one.
You're proud of this one? Well, it's good because Pride Parade was today, and it's Pride Month.
And I have a Pride bracelet.
And you have your Pride... Oh my gosh, you do! Apple Watch band.
Yep. Illumaroom. The Microsoft... Do you remember the Illumaroom?
Yeah, we've already talked about this on the podcast.
Yeah, a little while ago.
Yeah, it looked fucking awesome.
Yeah, it was basically a projector system, I guess, that would extend the game beyond your TV. So if like
Yep.
a bomb went off, you'd see the ripple throughout your room, because it wouldn't necessarily it could project new things in your room, but it kind of projected your room on top of your room, so it could look like your room was moving along with the game.
Yeah.
Super awesome. I want that. They announced it, they talked about it, and haven't talked about it since what, 2013, 2014 E3.
Yeah.
I want it. I would buy an
Vitality
Xbox for that.
Sensor too. Nintendo Vitality Sensor.
Oh, that's
still coming to the
good
Wii.
one. It's still coming to the Wii.
Yeah, remember last time we talked about it? That then fed into our conversation about Philips Hue Light's integration with Rise on the Xbox 360.
Right.
Or Xbox One.
Right.
Duh.
Oh, cool.
Come
That's
on.
Vaporware.
Sorry we talked about that again, audience. Hey, what do you think from this year is going to end up being Vaporware?
The last night.
That's exactly what I had listed too.
Yep, that's my biggest. This is going to be Vaporware.
Like, it looked really fucking cool. It's there to entice you, but everything I've heard about it is, yeah, we don't have a game yet, but we're still pitching. Like, this could be imagine this. It's a game where you do this, this, and this, and they're like, cool, fucking show us what you've got. Yeah, and then when it comes out, it's going to be this, this, and this, and you could do that. What's the gameplay? Show us the game. They don't have any.
It was a great trailer.
Yeah.
It's
It
funny.
enticed me.
Most people were totally convinced by the trailer, and then afterwards found out it wasn't actually a thing quite yet. And It was a big letdown. This was a tough year for Vaporware in terms of, well, I guess it's a good thing, but there was everything had already been talked about, so there wasn't a whole lot of things that seemed
Right,
like
there
they
were no
won't-
surprises.
Yeah, but like I'd say one game that wasn't there that I think very easily could be Vaporware is Final Fantasy VII Remake.
Oh, God.
I think that
Especially
could be
now that
Vaporware.
that's changed hands and now come back internally under Square Enix.
Yep,
Yeah.
it could be. I still think Kingdom Hearts 3 could be Vaporware. I really don't have a lot of faith in
Well,
that game
both
right
of
now.
those games they've said are about 3 years away, or at
That's
least 3 years, or
insane.
something like that. I forget the name, but it was like, don't expect them anytime in the next 3 years.
I don't think that Beyond Good and Evil 2 will be Vaporware. I think that will come out because Ubisoft is pushing that really hard. Like, they want you to know that game is
Yeah.
coming out to the point where they can't not have that game released. It will release and be terrible, or will not release like at all.
You know what I think is going to be Vaporware?
What?
Assassin's Creed Origins. That game's never coming out.
Same with. I also think that Mario Rabbids not coming out.
Nope.
Not coming out.
I also think we'll never see Splatoon 2.
No, we might see that one. Maybe.
Arms. We'll never see Arms. It's
No.
never coming out. Total
Nope.
Vaporware. I'm going to vape through my underwear while playing that game.
There was a game at the PlayStation conference I thought was going to be Vaporware. I can't remember what it was though. It was like a Japanese RPG or something like that. But it looked really lofty and like, big and ginormous, and they showed like a really quick random teaser of it, and I'm like, we'll never see that game again.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
I can't remember what it was though. For the life of me, I can't remember. There were a lot. Looking back at Sony's E3, there were a lot of notable admissions, like Dreams from Media Molecule.
Yeah.
Wasn't there?
That's straight up Vaporware.
Yeah, I don't think that game's coming.
No.
Because also, what is that game?
Yeah.
It's so vague at what it is.
It's a creation game, and you can make a tree or a mountain.
They basically said
You see that mountain? You can make that mountain.
it was actually already made, so you can't make that mountain. But if you want to make a mountain, you can make a mountain if you want to.
They
Have
did announce like
fun.
PlayStation VR support for it, which I think is like the right platform. That's something that I think would be interesting to explore in VR, like 3D modeling.
Mm-hmm.
Not like, hey, I'm gonna model for you, and I'm gonna be a sexy person walking.
Oh, that's
on
what
the
I thought
catwalk,
that you
but
meant.
3D modeling, like creating models of characters and environments.
Here's the only problem
in
with that,
VR,
though.
I think that would be so much easier than trying to do it on a 2D screen.
I think the only problem with like 3D modeling is that I suck at that, and
You're right. You suck at it, so then they're not going to make that available to any kind of graphic design artists.
But that's
Or
what I'm saying is
animators,
that
yeah.
they should make that as a tool for a computer, then not a video game to play. Like I think.
Oh
making-
yeah, no. It shouldn't be a video game, but I'm excited about VR's potential in that field.
Oh yeah,
because
yeah.
I think it'd be really cool.
Like AR is going to take over. that
Did
kind of
you
stuff.
see the guy who retrofitted Super Mario Bros.
In VR?
in AR for HoloLens and then played it in
Yes.
Central Park?
Yep, I did see that. That was extremely cool. It
Yeah.
was level 1-1, right?
Yep. Will you shut your goddamn phone up?
It's actually my computer.
Will you shut your goddamn computer up?
No, if it wants to speak, it will speak.
Tell me a story, computer.
Nope.
Hey, do we have any interrogatives?
I don't have any
Yeah, we do.
interrogatives.
Hey.
You do? Wow, I don't have any interrogatives. So
If-
you're better than me then.
If
If
I haven't thought about this at all until I came up with it 30 seconds ago. If you could go back to little baby you,
yeah,
maybe we'll say age 7.
Mm-hmm.
So you kind of have an understanding of the world and kind of know what games are, and you're starting to think they're cool. If you could show little baby 7-year-old you one game from 2017 or like this kind of generation, what game would you choose to show that little baby version of you? It's a little baby Holden. Ball's not yet dropped.
I got it. And I think this is actually funny because it's not a great example of generation, but it's something that I just know would like blow me away at 7 years old.
Yeah.
And that's No Man's Sky.
Yeah?
Seriously, because at that point, you go back, what would that be, like about 15 years, 16 years? And that is an extremely impressive experience 16 years ago.
Yeah.
I'd be blown away by that. Like, you can just fly around and see different planets and stuff. I'd be all over that at 7 years old.
This is kind of cheating because not only is it a game, but it's also a platform. Like, I would choose Thumper in VR.
You could just say Thumper, but yeah.
No, Thumper in VR. Specifically,
But I would have understood what you meant, because I don't think you'd be playing that on the TV anyway.
No, it's not worth it anywhere else.
Yeah.
Yeah.
On the Switch,
to show little baby me, oh, by the way, VR is a thing in the future. And you're like, and your brain melts, and that's why you're not allowed to be able to use VR if you're under 12. Like, yeah.
You're not allowed to use VR for under 12? Is there warnings about that?
No, there are warnings all over the box. Do not let anyone under age 12 use VR. Because they're stupid as fuck and they don't even know what the real world is
probably
yet.
More that the helmet doesn't fit them. So it just slides around all the time.
No, because there are baby adults.
No.
Or adults with baby heads.
There's not.
Or you could just like roll up a tube sock and make the headband fit.
Yes.
Hey everyone.
That's a good pick.
Yeah, it's a good way to kind of end the podcast. Unless you have another question you just came up with right now that you want to talk about.
I got nothing.
Cool.
I got no questions for you. I'm content.
Good little note to end on. We're at almost an hour. That was a burp.
Great note to end on there.
Next week we'll probably be here at the same exact time.
Yep.
And I love you all. Especially, I know we have 2 of you listening in Australia. Mm-hmm. And I'm going to give you guys a challenge. I want you to somehow get in contact with us. Facebook, Instagram, email. And I want you to just send me a picture of a heart. I don't know where I was. Like, I was trying in my head. I was like, all right, you're making all this stuff. Give us a challenge. What's this challenge going to be?
That's a challenge.
A picture of a heart.
I don't know if they. No, what do you mean by heart? Do you mean like?
I don't know. Whatever you
have to draw a heart,
it could
or
be,
they have to go
a heart
find a
from
heart?
Zelda. You could do
go
open
find
heart
a
surgery
real
and
heart.
stick your cell phone in somebody's chest cavity.
And be like, hey, 1 second, I got to get a picture for the Gaming Podcast.
It could be spoiler alert for the end of Logan.
Mm-hmm. Whoa, I haven't seen Logan yet.
It could be your daughter.
That's horrible. Random stranger's fine. Daughter, not cool.
No, not her heart.
Oh, like she's. I see what you're saying.
Yes, in one of the older X-Men's movies, X-Men's plural. I'm stupid. In one of the older X-Men movies, they say, "Logan, I see your death, and you're holding your heart in your hands."
Aww.
And then at the end of Logan, as he dies, he's holding his daughter's hand.
I haven't seen Logan. You ruined the end.
That's your fault. It's been out for long enough, and everyone said it was great.
Nope. No one said they liked it. It was terrible.
I also said spoiler alert, so you could have just thrown your headphones off and run out of the room. And I gave ample time for people to turn off their podcast. Hey, I love you guys. We're get out of here. We're not going to ramble. Bye. You're all... I can't think of any word but sluts.
Slut.